In the mid-18th century, 13 British colonies stretched along the eastern edge of North America. They were prosperous, growing, and loyal to the British Crown, at least at first. For decades, Britain allowed these colonies to govern themselves. Local assemblies made laws, collected taxes, and built thriving economies. Everything changed after the 7 Years' War. Britain emerged victorious, but deeply in debt. To recover financially, Parliament turned to the colonies, imposing new taxes without colonial representation. The Stamp Act of 1765 ignited outrage. Colonists argued that taxation without representation violated their rights as Englishmen. Tensions escalated further with the Townshend Acts and a growing British military presence in colonial cities. In 1770, conflict erupted in Boston. British soldiers fired into a crowd, killing 5 civilians, an event remembered as the Boston Massacre. 3 years later, protest turned symbolic. Colonists dumped British tea into Boston Harbor to oppose taxation. Britain responded with harsh measures known as the Intolerable Acts, closing Boston's port and stripping Massachusetts of self-rule. In response, colonial leaders convened the First Continental Congress, united not for independence, but resistance. By April 1775, diplomacy collapsed. British troops marched toward Concord to seize colonial weapons. At Lexington, the first shots were fired. No one knows who pulled the trigger, but the war had begun. Within weeks, fighting spread. Colonial militias surrounded Boston, forcing the British Army to withdraw. In July 1776, colonial leaders made a decisive move. They declared independence from British rule. Drafted primarily by Thomas Jefferson, the Declaration argued that governments exist to protect natural rights and may be overthrown if they fail. Britain responded with force. The world's strongest military now faced an untrained, underfunded army led by George Washington. The war swung back and forth. The Continental Army endured harsh winters, including the brutal encampment at Valley Forge. A turning point came in 1777 at Saratoga, where American forces defeated a British army. This victory convinced France to formally support the American cause, shifting the balance of the war. With French assistance, American forces trapped British General Cornwallis at Yorktown in 1781. Cornwallis surrendered. Though fighting continued elsewhere, the war was effectively over. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris officially recognized the United States as an independent nation. The American Revolution reshaped global history, inspiring future revolutions and redefining ideas of liberty and self-government. From protest to independence, the American Revolution was not just a war, but the birth of a new political idea. Subscribe for more historically accurate stories that shaped our world.